From when did you start playing violin? I mean, from how many years?
Sir, I was fortunate that the violin has been provided by our school, sir. So when I was studying from 6th to 10th class, so I have got this formal violin training, sir.
Oh, so from sixth class.
Yes, sir.
It's almost 10, 20 years? Oh, no, 10 years, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So have you observed any improvement? I mean, tell me, in the last 10 to 12 years of your playing violin, have you observed any mental or physical activity while playing violin? I want both. What kind of mental growth have you observed? What kind of physical growth have you observed because of playing violin?
Sir, can I take a moment, sir?
Yeah, please.
Sir, after playing violin for so many years, in the mental sphere, sir, especially I became much calm and composed because of music per se and violin especially. The second is, sir, people say that my creativity levels have been increased in multiple spheres. So these are the two aspects which I can think right now, sir, in the mental. And also, sir, my memory got increased, sir, because of this. Sir, on the physical sphere, I think there is no direct effect, sir. But calm mind also produces calm body, sir. So I feel yes. So I got more inclination towards exercises and being fitness. Yes, sir.
Okay, good. See, playing violin sometimes require fast movement of the hand, right? So, do you think a lot of calories will be burnt while playing violin? Have you observed tiredness or tired burning of calories, anything like that? Because you're playing for a long time, I just want to know from you. Is it like, can you consider violin as a kind of exercise or not really?
Sir, it is famously said that according to studies which have been done in the past 20-25 years, that almost 170 kilocalories per hour would be done, sir, because of playing violin. Yes, sir. So it depends upon the intensity with which we play violin, sir. So this is also one of the advantages which we have, sir.
Okay, okay. Is there any restriction of the size? I mean, is there any correlation between the size of violin and the physical activity? Means, have you tried different sizes of violin, Pavan?
Sir, unfortunately, no, sir. I haven't tried different sizes of the violin. So I have tried only 4 by 4, sir. We tell it as 4 by 4 violin. So it is around 130 inches, sir.
So 4x4 violin is the most commonly used violin by people.
Yes, sir. It is the most common.
Why specifically 4x4 has become so famous?
So generally, violin is being taught for the adults, sir. So it is after the 12 or 13 years of age, generally. So, sir, it is the most commonly felt that after studies, 4 by 4 violin has become more accustomed to all the musicians per se or the violinists per se. But, sir, as I already told, there are 3 by 4 violins and 1 by 1 violins, very small violins for the children as well, sir, whom we should be emphasizing more on the Suzuki method of teaching violin, sir.
Suzuki method. May I know what the Suzuki method is?
Sir, sure, sir. Sir, Suzuki method of violin, or maybe the Suzuki method of teaching music, or it is also a teaching philosophy, sir, which is developed by Suzuki in Japan, almost 50 years or 50 to 100 years back, sir. So, what he emphasized on in the education field, he has drawn the parallel in the music field as well, sir. While observing his language studies, he has examined that adults find difficult to grasp the new languages, sir. Even he found difficult to grasp German language. But he observed children grasp it very easily with proper environment. So he given this parallel to the music and instruments, sir. He's a violinist. So he told that certain environment, if we are providing to the students, so even the small or young children can become pioneers in the music.
So the different sizes of violin is made for different age groups. That's what telling
Yes,
me.
yes, sir.
So what is the large violin? I mean, what is the maximum size of the violin?
Sir, in proper violin per se, sir, I exactly don't know the largest size, but the maximum usage of the violin is always 4 by 4 violin.
4x4 what is it? What is the 4x4?
Sir, it is given as a fraction 4 by 4.
Is it
But-
feet? Is it feet or is it what is it? 4 feet?
Sir, I am not aware of the unit, sir, but it is just we call it as 4 by 4.
But take a guess because you are playing violin throughout your life. Just
Yes.
think, tell me, 4 by 4 means what? What is the length of the violin that you are playing? Roughly.
Sir, it could be around 50 inches, sir, which I feel I'm not very much sure, sir. I go and read about the exact measurements.
I heard of 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters violins. These days, we are seeing now. Also in some of the Western countries, they are actually competing to make large violins, and they're selling these violins also. What advantage do you have if you make 3, 4, 5 meters violins? What advantage can you have by having large violin? Can it change the type of music? Will it make it easier to play violin according to you?
Sir, generally in the group of violin families, sir, we have 4 different types of violins: violin, viola, cello, and double bass, sir. So these are,
Do you call it as violin family?
sir, yes, sir, they are called as violin family.
Why? See, viola is different from violin.
Yes,
Double
sir.
back is different from violin. They are
Yes, sir.
different. Then why are you calling it as violin family? They are not violins, Try to think
Sir,
of some other name, some better name for their family. Because somehow I'm not convinced with the violin family.
sir, I'll go and read about the family names, sir.
Okay.
Because I have
Anything. See, we can name it like whatever. For example, anything common in all the 4? Anything common that you observe in this 4?
Sir, string and bows, sir. Generally, these
Then
are
let us
common.
call it as string family because strings are common. Okay, now go ahead. Tell me, Pavan.
Yes, sir. Sir, violin per se, just what we use now, is meant to produce high pitch sounds, sir, generally. But with increasing of the length of the instruments, sir, with violin, we will be able to produce the low pitched sounds well, sir. And also, yes, sir. And also it depends upon the piece which we keep inside the 2 walls of the violin, and also what material the violin is made up of, and what are the material string is made up of. So what is the length of the F holes present in the instrument? So these are the some of the things which also can categorize them into different
Very interesting. You said the material.
Yes,
Generally,
sir.
what is the material with which violins are made? I mean, which wood with which you make violins generally?
Sir, we generally use maple wood, sir. So that is the premium quality of wood we use, sir, generally.
Where do you find maple? In which environment, which climatic conditions?
So generally, it is found in the colder environments, sir. For example, in India, if you take the pine species, so they are found in Himalayas. Similarly, the maple and all these type of wood are found in the Italy or maybe the Scandinavian countries. So on the extreme northern India.
Italy is on one side, Scandinavia is on another side, right?
Yes, sir.
How can you say both of them have same climatic condition?
Sir, it cannot be the exact climatic conditions, sir, but we can also see the transition climatic conditions, and also in some of the seasons we can find, sir.
Okay. So you mean to say in India, all the violins are made from the Himalayan wood only. There is no wood in South India with which violins can be made, Pavan?
Sir, I am not very sure of what are the other materials to be used in violins at these days. So I think I should go and read about them, sir.
Do you think violin has to be made with the same wood or we can combine different woods?
Sir, I think we can combine with different woods and different material can be used, sir.
How do you combine? For example, take 10 types of wood. How do you combine those 10 types of wood to make one violin?
Sir, it depends upon the what type of music we want. So if you are wanting a particular type of music, we can use the hide glue, sir, generally. So generally the hide glue, which is coming from some of the trees, so that can be used to fix the different parts of the violin, sir.
So hide glue is one type of wood.
Sir, hide glue is a glue which combines any part of the wood, sir.
Okay, so with hide glue, you will combine different types of wood.
Yes, sir.
How is it like vertically will you combine them or horizontally will you combine the wood? For example, if this is a violin, how do you combine the wood? I don't understand quite.
So there is the anterior ball and the posterior ball, sir. So the upper ball and the posterior ball, which we say. So we'll combine it with in a horizontal manner, sir. Definitely, we'll combine it with a different middle piece, sir.
Middle piece. There is
Yes,
a bridge. There is a bridge, in the violin bridge.
yes, sir. There is a bridge.
What is the importance of the bridge?
So the main importance of the bridge in violin is to place the strings, sir, in the correct manner so that the resonance will not get affected.
Okay. What about the fine tunes?
So fine tuners are used to fine tune the violin, sir. For example, if you are not having too much of divergence from the accustomed tune, what we are thinking, so we can just use these fine tunes and we can do it, sir.
Okay. And then you said that there's experiment in Japan where the students who are playing violin are able to cognitively improve better, right? You said that, right?
Yes, sir.
Then don't you think it's responsibility of the government to include music, maybe violin or maybe another instrument, in the curriculum? In the curriculum, they're including only sports, right? These days, along with the subjects, moral science, sports. Emphasis on sports was there, but why there is no emphasis on music at all? Why there is no emphasis on music as much as sports?
Sir, can you take a moment, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Sir, as you rightly pointed out that there is no much emphasis on music in the pedagogy structure of the majority of the schools in India, sir. But we cannot say it in a very blanket way that or not all these schools are providing this. And because I've been very fortunate to study in a school which give more emphasis on music and sports equally together. And there are other schools as well, sir. This can be seen in some of the private schools and majority of the government schools. So I feel it is the responsibility of the government to provide, but there are also other challenges as well, sir. Now, presently, there is more stress on academics, sir, rather than music or sports. So that force is coming not only from the students but also from the parents. So that is why the school management is not very proactive in giving these facilities. And sir, second, there is scarcity of music teachers, sir. For example, if you take violin, the music teachers are very scarce, especially with regard to instruments. And in the South India, that too in Andhra Pradesh, if you take tabla or the mridangam teachers, they are majorly practicing with regard to their own kacheris and their own sankirtanas and all the programs. So they might not be available on a regular basis to the schools. So this is also one of the things. And third is that there is no proper policy that to be implemented from the government. So yes, the government should take a proactive role in keeping this music as a good curriculum in the pedagogy structure.
Okay. So I have this doubt. There is a sports department, sports secretary who takes care of the sports. The education department, human resource HRD, who take education. Is there which department or which ministry takes care of the sports? I mean, takes care of the music for the children. According to you, which department takes care of the music? New children, general in India, which department encourages the music in India?
Sir, it's Ministry of Culture.
So what is Ministry of Culture doing with the schools? How is it associated with the education department?
Sir, can I take a moment, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, I am unable to recollect right now, sir. So I'll go and read about what Ministry of Culture is doing.
Okay. Ministry of what is it? Ministry of Culture, you said.
Yes, sir.
Ministry of Culture, I mean, is it central government ministry or state government also has a separate department for culture?
Sir, I'm pretty much sure about the central government, which is having the Ministry of Culture, sir. I'm not very sure about the state government, but we have endowments department, sir, in the state government, which takes about all these temples and cultural aspects.
Yeah, but I'm concerned with the music. Encouraging music. See, encouraging sports among the youth has been a target of the government. Different departments and ministries working on that. Similarly, encouraging music among the youth, encouraging music among children. Trace the last 70 years of independent India. Any such initiative, any such step Just like education, sports, music to the children. Anything you can remember. Any policy, act, initiative by any state, any central government.
Sir, I'm unable to recollect, sir. But we have certain academies, sir. For example, Sangeet, Natak academies, and other academies as well, sir, which I'm not able to recollect right now. So these academies are doing their part, and there are certain NGOs as well, sir, whom general, for example, if you take Tyagaraja Sabha, sir, so generally they recognize the talent of music among the students and they facilitate. So these are the things, and I need to go and look upon in a specific manner, sir, about this.
Okay. And then Pawan, there are specific awards for the sports, right? Awards,
Yes,
central, state level awards. In the
yes.
music, can you name some awards for the famous musicians in India, specifically for music? Awards for music at state level, your state or India, whatever.
Sir, exactly, I'm not able to remember, sir, but I know them. But I'll go and read about them exactly, sir.
Okay. And then, see, you played violin from last, 10 years, whatever.
Yes.
Have you ever tried to learn any other musical instrument to know whether that instrument is producing better music than violin, or you would love it more than the violin? Have you experimented, tried any other instruments?
Sir, unfortunately, I did not get the chance to experiment with the other instruments as well, sir. And I feel I should be a bit more mature enough in the playing violin itself, sir. So I think I should go deeper into violin rather than exploring other instruments now, because of the uniqueness of the violin and because I love violin so much, sir. So that emotion towards violin is not making me to experiment in the other things, sir, right now. Maybe in the future I might go if I am getting expertise in the violin, sir.
Okay. Actually, Pawan, it is said by many experts that to become an expert of one music instruments, you should put your hands and try some other instruments also. Only when you try some other music instruments, you will be able to get the overall picture. And in the particular violin or which instrument you're doing, you can become better. Do you agree with this theory?
Sir, without any without uh, without causing any undue respect or maybe disrespect to the members who have told these statements, sir. With all wisdom, they might have told this statement. So I don't generally agree with the view, sir, with the statement, sir, because for playing any instrument per se, we need to have the exact knowledge of the instrument. So, and also a lot of practice is required for the instrument for anything to be mastered, sir. Along with we should also be having vocal knowledge, sir.
Okay,
So,
okay.
fortunate, yes, sir.
Good. So, tell me, other than violin, which other instrument are encouraged in your school? In your school, they encourage only violin?
Sir, there are other two instruments as well. Sir, one is piano and second is tabla. So these are the three musical instruments which have been provided in our school, sir.
Commercially, which one is better for a candidate? Commercially, if they want to make a profession out of it, which instrument do you suggest?
Sir, commercially, for example, if one wants to devolve his career into the musical instrument per se, all the three are very important, sir, for any program to be very successful in their respective choices. But to me, sir, as a student of violin, I would say violin will give a lot of commercial gains for the people, sir, definitely. And sir, on a lighter note that, and but on a very serious note that, sir, we should not explore any instrument to its commercial gains, sir, definitely, because it's our culture and it's our responsibility to take that culture forward. So yes, if it is giving us the food and money, definitely it is there. But I think we should look beyond the commercial aspects which an instrument is providing.
Okay. In relation between the violin and your love towards Annamachari Sankirtanas, Pavan?
Yes. Sir, sorry, sir, I didn't get the exact question.
Is there any relation between your interest towards violin and your love towards Annamacharya Sankirtana? Is there a relation between these two?
Sir, initially there was no relation, sir, because I've been singing Annamacharya Sankirtanas right from my childhood. So before the sixth standard also I was singing, sir. But after learning violin, so I was able to play Annamacharya Sankirtanas on the violin also, sir. So later the both love towards Annamacharya Sankirtanas and also violin culminated, and it made me myself, sir, now.
Okay. Why specifically Anand Sankirtanas you started loving from childhood? I mean, whose influence is there on you? Who influenced you so much to love Annamacharya Sankirtanas?
Sir, I was born in Rajampet, sir, so which is almost 10 kilometers from Tallapaka, the birthplace of Annamacharya, sir. So in the childhood, we used to go to the Chennakeswar temple where Annamaya used to go. So these places, so that has profound influence on me, sir. And we're also ardent devotees of Lord Venkateshwara. And we stay at Tirupati, sir. We are staying at Tirupati from 12 years.
Okay.
So, sir, this has influenced me. And also, sir, in childhood, my parents used to keep this any CDs or music in the mornings and the evenings when they come, sir, with respect to Annamacharyas. So, I think this has given me influence to sing Annamacharya.
Okay, okay. See, Tirupati, you're saying Tirupati generally has a lot of images, sculptures that are romantic in nature, right? So,
Yes, sir.
Annamacharya Sankirtans also are romantic in nature.
So, there are two categories of Sankirtanas where Annamacharya has it. So, one is total bhakti related Sankirtanas, and another is Sringara Sankirtanas, sir. Definitely, it's a divine form of romance which is being there between a devotee and a lord.
Do you think that romantic images on the temples would not would cause good impact on the children?
Sir, can I take a moment, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, this divine aspect of romance, or maybe Shringaram, sir, what we call it as, it has always been a divine form in our Sanatan Dharma, sir, or maybe in the Bharat. But now, presently, sir, it is very unfortunate situation that we have been taking the entire notion from Western culture. So, sir, we have taken that derogatory aspect of the romance, and we are just materializing it, sir. But the main prominence of keeping such images or maybe such sculptures on the temples is to instigate that divine nature of romance in us, sir. I think when, as a parents or maybe as a society, we should be able to teach to the present generation or the present children that this aspect of love is much more beyond what we are thinking right now, sir. I think if we are doing that, it will have a very positive impact, sir.
Okay. Okay. Has Annamacharya completely changed the narrative of the Janapadam, or completely changed the tradition of the music, or has he just followed the footsteps of certain tradition coming from the past, or has he created a new tradition?
Sir, as Annamacharya is called as Andhra Padakavita Pitamaha, sir, he has gone the new form of Pada poetry, sir, Pada type of poetry or Pada genre of poetry, sir, which I'm not very much aware of the exact poetry what he has done, sir. But before, sir, almost the Purandar Das, who has been the starter of the Carnatic music, and Annamacharya, both are almost contemporaries, sir. But Annamacharya has not given the exact classical music for us, but it was more kind of the ragas where there was more emphasis on folk kind of music, sir, initially. And later, the trinity of Carnatic music has come and formalized the music, sir. And then these Annamacharya Sankirtanas have taken the classical form, sir.
Has taken the classical form.
Yes, sir.
And has created a new tradition in the Carnatic music, Annamacharya Sankirtanas.
Yes, sir.
Is that new tradition continued by next generations or no?
Sir, definitely yes, sir. I would say, and also, sir, we have projects like Annamacharya project in Tirupati, sir, and also programs like Annamaya Pataku Pattabhishekam, etc., which have been propagandizing and also popularizing the Annamacharya Sankirtanas in the classical form, sir. I feel yes, we are following the traditions of the classical form of music which we have been derived from our ancestors.
So tell me the next set of poets or musicians who continued Annamacharya's style of poetry or music.
Sir, we can see the legends like late Mangalampalli Balamurali Krishna Garu, sir, and also some other contemporary living legends like Garimella Balakrishna Prasad Garu, Shobha Raj Garu, so Raghunath Garu, and Bullemma Garu. So these are many musicians we are very fortunate enough having lived with in their era, sir, which are contributing towards the Sankirtanas so much.
Are they adding to the Sankirtanas of Annamacharya, or are they just reciting the same written by Annamacharya?
Sir, actually, almost around 12,000 Sankirtanas have been excavated, sir, from the Annamacharyas, and almost only 1,000 are active, sir, now. At most 1,000, sir. So now no one knows what are the tunes of Annamacharya Sankirtanas, what originally composed by Annamacharya, sir. So after classical music has taken its more form, so we have started to give tunes to those lyrics written by Annamacharya, sir. So now, with the help of programs like even we have a legendary director in Telugu called as Raghavendra Rao Garu, sir. So he has also taken some initiatives through TTD and started program called as Annamacharya, Annamaya Pattabhishekam, and giving new tunes to new songs, sir.
Okay, Pawan, see, any musician to become famous requires support, patronage from the kings of the time, right?
Yes,
and you
yes,
said Annamacharya is from Talapaka, and you used to go to the same temple Annamacharya used to go. So who was the king? Which was the kingdom that actually encouraged this Annamacharya Sankirtanas, and because of which it became famous? Just tell the historical background to Annamacharya.
yes, sir. Sir, Annamacharya was born in around 15th century, early 15th century, sir, around 1408. And then he was completely there in the Vijayawada kingdom, sir. So the main patronage for the Annamacharya Sankirtanas was given by Saluva Narasimha Rayal Garu, sir. So he was the main king who has given the patronage for the Annamacharya, sir.
Which century is it?
Sir, it is 16th century.
I think Buddhism was flourishing at the time, right? In and around
Sir,
Kadapa.
Sir, almost the classical form of the Buddhism has vanished, sir. But the other forms of Buddhism in a very primitive form, which was there around the Kadapa, sir, and Nandalur districts, etc.
Okay. So religion has something to do with the familiarity that Annamacharya has got. Do you agree with it?
Sir, definitely, sir. Really, patronage by the kings and religion patronage by the rulers and also the local leaders will definitely affect the outcome of the music which is there, sir. And we are fortunate that the majority of the uh, Vijayanagara kingdom empire, or maybe the Vijayanagara kings, have been very ardent devotees of Lord Venkateshwara. So that is why they have also taken the initiative to encourage the Annamacharya Sankirtanas.
So can you put Annamacharya in the line of Bhakti saints?
Sir, yes, sir. Definitely, we can keep him as a Bhakti saint.
See, this Bhakti tradition could not continue. It just flourished for some 2-3 centuries after it completely stopped.
Yes, sir.
Why? What happened?
Sir, one major reason which I can think right now is uh, coming of Mughals. So, so the coming of Mughals and the later Mughals have not given enough importance to all these traditions. For example, if you take Aurangzeb, so he was not at all in favor of continuing any Hindu culture. So I think this is one of the major reasons. And secondly, sir, there is a lot of saturation among the people, sir, after the Bhakti movement has come. Even the majority of the Bhakti movement has inclined towards the devotion of God. And with coming of the French or maybe the Britishers, this devotion towards the God has itself been decreased itself because of their impact. So I feel these are some of the reasons why the tradition has not been continued, sir, the Bhakti tradition.
To get the patronage from the king, you shall write poems praising the king also, right?
Yes, sir.
Has Annamacharya done that?
Sir, Annamacharya has not done it, sir. So that is why he has been in the prison also, because he has not praised Saluva Narasimha Rai. And after that, sir, after prison, when he invoked Lord Narasimha Avatara, and Salu Narasimha Raya, he himself bowed and said that you are the greatest among the humanity. So they are become much more devotees to him, sir, afterwards.
If you have to attribute some philosophy to Annamacharya, which one do you attribute? Advaita, Visishtadvaita, which one do you attribute? Because you are following Sankirtanas of Annamacharya. Based on Sankirtanas, there is a pattern you can associate with the philosophy, Indian philosophy. Which one do you think?
Sir, through Sankirtanas, I'm unable to conclude anything, sir, but he was highly impressed by the Ramanujacharya's philosophy, sir, Visishtadvaita.
What does this philosophy say?
Sir, I should go and read about it in depth manner, sir. I know it very superficially and it would be very wrong if I comment.
Okay. And Annamacharya, you mean Annamacharya is a follower of Visishtadvaita?
Sir, initially he was influenced by the Ramanujacharya, sir. So that is what I have read also. So I think he was also sir, being in a Smarta tradition, because he was the initially follower of the Shankaracharya's philosophy, sir, Advaitam. Later, because of the influence of Lord Venkateshwara, he has converted into Vaishnavism tradition, sir, with the help of the philosophy of Ramanujacharya.
Okay. That's good. And see, Bhakti Science became famous because of language also, right? The language, Bhakti Science.
Yes, sir.
So which language Annamacharya wrote his Sankirtanas mostly?
Sir, in Telugu, sir. The
More
local
in Telugu?
language. So majority in the Telugu, sir. That is why he is also called as Andhra Padakavita Pitamaha.
Majority in Telugu. And any other language used?
Sir, Sanskrit.
Why?
Sir, in the initial stages, sir. So because he was the ardent follower of Vedas, so he has learnt Vedas. So that might have got influence on him, sir.
Okay. Because in English, everybody has to learn Vedas those days.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Pawan. So overall, you are looking at the violin, Anuma Sankirtanas, you're appearing like a music lover, proper music lover. So a
Yes,
person
sir.
like you, traditionally you play violin, Sankirtana. Tell me which kind of songs do you like in the present movies? Which type of song based on your mindset, the violin and Sankirtanas, Anumacharyas?
Sir, I'm not very much a lover of movie songs and movies per se, sir. So I don't generally watch too many movies also. But sir, but when compared to the music directly, I love melodies, sir, generally.
What do you call Not Not song as? The Not Not song that won the Oscar recently. Is it a melody?
Sir, it is not a melody, sir.
Okay, then which kind of song is it? How do you classify it?
Sir, I don't know the exact terminology, sir, so I'll go and read about it.
Why it has got Oscar award, Paul? Not song. What is the criteria on which it is judged the most, the successful song of this year? What is the criteria?
Sir, one criteria was, sir, enormous influence which it has done on the Western society, sir, the Natu Natu song, because of the promotions or maybe because of the Golden Globe Awards which has got. So it has caught the attention, sir. And second is, sir, they have almost watched the movie, sir. Almost all the Western world watched the movie and they have understood the backdrop. So anti-colonialism. So it has shown the brotherhood. It has also shown the sacrifice in the song. So lot more energetic dance steps, beats which have been composed, the quality of the music, the quality of the video. So I think these have all influenced Natu Natu to get Oscars, sir.
Do you write lyrics for any songs? And do you write songs, poems on your own?
Sir, unfortunately, no, sir.
You should try. You should try to write your own song, okay? Okay,
Yes,
Pawan. We'll end it here. Okay?
Thank you, sir.